Assalamu alaikum students, welcome back to Global Public School online classes. In our previous class, we were talking about the geographical features in the prehistoric India lesson, which we had an explanation on the part 1 and part 2 here. In the first class of ours of this lesson, we talked about the different geographical features of India, and in the second class of ours, we were talking about the prehistoric age and the prehistoric period, and how the early man used to live, and what is the tools which he used to live, and where exactly this earlier man used to live. All that we studied, and in this class we're going to study little further about the period which they used to live. So that period earlier we used to call that as a stone age, middle stone age. All that we're going to study in this class. Okay, so after the 12,000, I mean before the 12,000 years, it is a saying that a drastical changes happened into the earth environment, into geographical environment. So what happened in that period, let's study here. So it is believed that the 12,000 years ago, a major change took place on the Earth's environment. So the Earth's temperature began to gradually increase, and the birds and animals began to multiply in unprecedented numbers. So these are all the things begin to observe their nature, food habits, and the way these animals multiplied. So like this, so here the animal husbandry and the dairying started. The petting the animals and the dairying the animals has been started this point of time, and they also learn to catch the fish in the stream of lakes. All that is being started here, and some grass bearing grains, and they also started growing, and that is also came up as a natural things. So all that is what happened in the changing environment before, in the last I mean in the before the 12,000 years. So this is what the changes would happen in the environment. So let's see how the animal husbandry all that started here. The development of grasslands in the many places is the biggest example to start the animal husbandry. So he began, I mean, the earlier man began to observe the nature, and the archaeologists started observing the nature of, I mean, the changes in the nature and the food habits. And the early man, they started capturing some of the animals and brought them up. Initially, what they used to do, they used to kill the animals and they used to eat then and there itself. But here, they brought up some of the animals as a petting way, that is we call it as the animal husbandry. And later they started using some of the animals for the dairying purpose, maybe to use their milk for drinking purpose, and also maybe in terms of selling. All that started. So that is the period where what we call it as the animal husbandry and dairying of that products. Next, the archaeologists, I mean the people who have studied the past, uh, those scholars who have studied about the prehistoric age, we call them as archaeologists. So these archaeologists have divided the prehistoric age into the different names. One is early Stone Age, the second is middle Stone Age, and the third is the late Old Stone Age. So what does that mean? How exactly it indicates? Let's study that here. So see the tools which is being used by the prehistoric man here. See, it's been very clearly said that before to 10,000 years ago, that we call it as the old stone age, and that 10,000 years of period we used to call that as middle stone age, and after the 10 to 12,000 period we call that as a old late stone age. You can see that here. What are the characters of this middle stone age here is the tools of this period are generally very small, hence they are called a delicate stone tools. What do you mean by delicate stone tools? The tools of the prehistoric are very small, and that's why they call it as a delicate stone tools. they used to fix these stones tools to handles made up out of wood and bones. Normally, these stone tools will be used for to make the handles for the wooden and the bones materials which they used to use, and they used those tools to a sacks and the saws. You can see that here. Along with these tools, the tools of old kind too continued to be used. And in the new stone age, the stone age actually began after the 10,000 years. We call that as the new stone age, in between 10,000 to 12,000 years. And the tools were bright and had a sharp edges. That is the characteristics of the new stone age. And used a grinding stones for grinding the leaves and herbs and grains and cereals. Some pots and pans of this period have been found, a few of which have been decorated now. And the pots were used for the storing of grains in this particular period of time, and they were also used for cooking rice, wheat, and other grains and cereals. People had learned to weave clothes also during this period. So let's have the quick recap on the new stone age here. Characters. The first thing is the pots have been created during this time, and they have used these pots for the storing purpose and also for the cooking of rice, wheat, and other grains and cereals. People had learned to weave their clothes. So it's a special a reaction of this prehistoric age, and let's study this in a flowchart way. So the diagram which shows the stages of the prehistoric age: one is the old stone age, middle stone age, and the new stone age. Again, the old stone age has been divided into three parts: early old stone age, middle old stone age, and the later old stone age. So this is for your information, students. And from this we complete our lesson, geographical features and prehistoric India. I want you to write the uh, explanatory notes of this lesson and submit it through the Google Classroom app. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me through the Google Classroom app. And in the next class of ours, I'm going to share the notes of this lesson. Till then, students, signing off. Take care. Stay safe, stay home, and keep your learning button on. Thank you so much, students. Allah Hafiz.